not a lot of people get to say that they get to build an NBA arena.
Mm-hmm.
That is super cool that I am
really
this early in my career and get to do that. I had a finance degree and I got to the end of college and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so boring. Like I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. Like I was in a bit of a panic, really. Let's enter the construction program after I'd actually graduated and let's see if I can get an internship. That was one of the like riskier, scarier things I've ever done. And it's obviously been the best thing that's ever happened to me, but any opportunity that you want here, you can earn.
2 weeks before I went to college, I was set up to go to Colorado State for biology. I transitioned to construction management without telling my parents at all. Right before I left, I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm doing construction management. And they were all like, you're joking. And I was like, no, here we are. I've done school stadiums, medical facilities, bakeries, fire stations, you name it.
Moved from Utah down to Austin and got a job at an architecture firm. At our design meetings, I met one of our directors at Flintco. I pulled him aside. I was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit about Flintco? I think I want to see things actually get built rather than designing on paper. I ended up getting a job as a senior project engineer and put on the project that I designed.
You getting any blame for that? Or people are like, golly, I wouldn't be writing this RFI if it wasn't for Jenna.
All the time. I'm submitting RFIs on my own drawings.
Wow.
Yeah, what was the designer thinking when they said this?
I don't know, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Welcome to the next episode of Flintco Talks. It's your boy Dano. I'm live in Austin this morning, and we are super excited to be celebrating Women in Construction Week. I have 3 incredible professionals that are women that work for Flintco in the house today. Please introduce yourself, starting with to my immediate right.
Hey, I'm Jenna Anderson. I am a senior project engineer, and I am currently on the DPS training facility job up in Florence.
Very cool.
I'm Ava Eikanger. I am an APM, an assistant project manager in Denver office. And I am on the Izio Bakery project right now, finishing that up. And then I'm going to start on Monument Fire Station number 3.
Yeah, and I'm Ashley Weiss. I'm a superintendent for Flintco. I'm out of our Oklahoma City office, and I am getting started on the new OKC Thunder Arena.
Ooh,
It's a big one.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool projects in there from a bread bakery. Mm-hmm. How many loaves of bread do they make an hour?
Oh, I want to say it's like 6,000 an hour with their current setup. So like their current setup, they have like hand lines. So there's like people having to work the hand lines. And then once they get the automatic lines, there's only like 7 people per line, and it'll be way more than that. And I can't remember the number.
6,000 loaves of bread.
Yeah.
I'm hungry just thinking about that.
It's really good bread.
Like no low carb diets there.
No, do they make a gluten-free option?
They used to.
It's just all high octane, full of gluten. Thank y'all so much for being here today. I'm super excited to have y'all here. Several offices are represented. I'm excited to get into our conversation today. But for our listeners, let's start. Ashley, tell us just a little bit about yourself and maybe how you chose construction and how you ended up at Flintco.
I've been with Flintco now for 8 years and going on 9. So feel like I'm the old tenured one now. But I went to Oklahoma State University and I had a finance degree, and I got to the end of college and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so boring. Like I cannot sit at a desk and crunch numbers and like I was like, oh my gosh, I finished college and now I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. Like I was in a bit of a panic, really. And I had some friends who were in construction, knew about construction, was always interested in it. Architecture, loved floor plans as kids, rearranging my room, drawing my dream house, all of that. And so instead of like becoming an adult, getting a job and moving on, I was like, man, like I don't want to do this. And so it really turned into let's enter the construction program after I'd actually graduated, and let's see if I can get an internship. And so I took an extra semester of classes just so I could go to the construction career fair, because I didn't really have an in into the construction industry. I'd never been on a commercial construction site, like didn't have anyone that could really guide me through that. And so that was one of the like riskier, scarier things I've ever done. And it's obviously been the best thing that's ever happened to me. But I had Heather Yates. She is the leading head of the College of Engineering at OSU, and she kind of helped me get my foot in the door. And so I knew about Flintco. They were all over OSU's campus. They've done the stadium renovations there. I mean, we always have had a presence there. And so you would see their signs all over campus, and you'd hear people talk about Flintco and what it meant to be an intern there and what their experiences were. And I was like, well, if I'm going to go try to do this, we're going to work for the best, right? Like we're all in. And so,
always.
and so, I remember I went and did an interview, and it was like freezing cold out that day, and like classes were canceled. Like I thought they were going to cancel the interview, and I was like, oh no, this is please don't cancel. Like I really want this opportunity. And I remember Jeff Blows, he still works for us. He's one of our senior project managers out of Tulsa. But I remember interviewing with him, and Brittany Driscoll, and she's out of our Tulsa office too, is pre-construction manager now. And went through the interview, everything was great. And I remember the last question they asked me was, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? And I was like, Himalayan pine. Like, you know, like it was just like, and they're like, okay. And I was like, that's my answer, Himalayan pine. You know, then you're explaining why. And anyways, so all of that to say is I was like, I think I won them over with the Himalayan pine. So
nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Like, oh, for sure getting this one. So anyways, needless to say, I got hired as an intern. And so I did my first internship in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And at the end of it, Larry Cheatham was our vice president of HR, something like that. And I remember I was like, I don't want to go back to school. I don't need to go back to school for construction. Like, you're going to teach me everything I need to know here. And so I remember I was nervous, and I was like, I'm going to set up a meeting with him. And I asked him for a job. I was like, I don't want to go back to school. I love construction. I loved my experience here. And I want to be at Flintco. And so they gave me a job. And so for the last 8 years, I've been here. And with that, like, I started in our Tulsa office as an intern, transferred to Oklahoma City right after my internship, and got there and was like, SOS, like, I want to go back. Like, no one likes me here. Like, it was first day, like, no one knew me. So, you know, this is all in my head. But I'm like, oh my gosh, no one likes me. Like, my superintendent keeps calling me Amanda. Like, my name's Ashley. Like, I mean, all these things. And I'm just like, oh no, like, I need to go back. And anyways, I started as an office engineer down at OU. I was on a physics and astronomy building. Everyone who I worked for on that job still works for us, so I hope they listen to this and they'll get a good laugh out of that story. But doing that project, I came in about halfway through it, and really, like, I didn't know, north from south at that point. I'm like, I'm just so grateful I have a job. I'm not going back to college, like, oh my gosh, like, let me just pretend that I'll get my way through it, But no, so that was a big step, just transferring offices, like trying to experience a new team, being brand new, that position. And as I've like been in my career, so I did that project, finished that one out, and then Oklahoma City won our first MAPS project, which was the Oklahoma City Convention Center. Ended up being like $186 million job. And so that was a big deal, and especially at a time when our market was pretty slow. And so I knew I was slated to go to that right after. And that was a pretty pivotal experience for me. I was a project engineer when I went over there, and I got to experience a big team. So I was on a really big team, a lot of people, a lot of really smart people, and a lot of just knowledge. You think about like all the accumulation of years of knowledge and experience these people have, and it was just such a wonderful learning experience and a great team. And after that was a very successful project. The goal was to grow, to be able to get your own project. And so after kind of finishing some other projects here or there, I got my own project. I was the project manager at the Civic Center, which by far, I told a couple of you this, but by far, smallest project I've ever done, hardest. Oh my gosh. Like, anyone who says a small project is easy, like, yeah, like you haven't been on a small project then, because you're it. So that was something that was a really great experience for me as well, just because I was it. Like, the buck stopped at me. And so that was very pivotal as far as learning how to deal with clients and trades, your own team. And that's also where I became a mom. So I've got 2 little boys, and that's where I became a mom. And so it's like figuring out like, I'm trying to grow in my career, trying to do this, trying to do that. And it was a lot, but it was still a wonderful opportunity. And then since then, like finishing the Civic Center, I finished the OG&E Coliseum, where I started as a PM, and then about a year into that project made that transition to the superintendent over there. And we finished that one up last summer. Very dramatic story with finishing that one. That's for another day. But lightning strike, took out a transformer the day before we were supposed to open this whole thing. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's a story for another time. But
that's crazy.
But I was like, if you have time, later I'll tell you all about it. But so made that transition, and we can get into that transition from being a project manager to a superintendent, which has been one of the best things I've ever done for my career. But that has led me to where now I am I helped actually, first interview I've ever done as well as I helped win the Oklahoma City Thunder Arena earlier last year. And anyways, now that is the project that I'm starting on. So
awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. My story is, I would say, a little bit more typical. So with my dad in the industry, it was just always a huge influence on me. I mean, growing up, hearing about construction, hearing about what he does on a day-to-day. I mean, I remember when I was younger, like I would put, my Legos together in construction ways. I had these little blocks, and you literally use tape to tape them together into parking garages for my little cars. Like, I don't know who I thought I was when I was like 6, but I loved it. And then when I got into high school, I was just kind of more like, I was like, oh, well, I want to do biology, or I want to do nursing, kind of like, what everyone else is doing. And 2 weeks before I went to college, I was set up to go to Colorado State for biology. 2 weeks before I went, I was looking through the course catalog, and I saw construction management, and I was like, oh, well, this is hands-on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like something I've been learning about my entire life. I'm constantly hearing about, like, I'm going to do this. So I transitioned to construction management without telling my parents at all, which was kind of hilarious. So then, like, right before I left, I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm doing construction management. And they were all like, you're joking. And I was like, no, here we are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have loved it ever since. All of the classes I've really enjoyed. I enjoy the people, the professors. And then, just kind of made my way to Flintco through that. Met Charlie at the career fair, which was amazing. Shout out to Charlie. But yeah, not as long as a story, but.
So, did you intern with us?
I did.
Okay.
I can kind of go into my.
Yeah. So was that
Flintco
once
story.
or twice or?
So I interned with Flintco once, and I actually did a 6-month internship.
Oh, nice.
Because like for college, we could either do 3 or 6. So my first summer I interned with another company just because I kind of wanted to see, I've been hearing about Flintco's culture. I've been hearing about Flintco from my dad. And I was just like, okay, like, I really want to see what Flintco's about, but I also, want to see what other companies are about.
Kind of a measuring stick.
Exactly. So yes, I did my 6-month internship with Flintco and loved it. And I'm so happy that I did get to do the 6 months because I feel like it was a way to really grow my relationships within Flintco and like my knowledge of Flintco. And then from there started as a project engineer. The fun part was my internship project. I actually, when I got hired on full time, I was back.
Oh, wow.
So for
That's
my internship project, we were doing underground, and I got to see all the way through like CMU. And then I got to come back for punch list. So,
perfect.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah. No kidding. But it was fun, to actually be able to see the project full going and finished in real life. So that was a big stepping point for me, PE wise. Being in the Denver office has been really cool because it's like, we don't have as much of the like big projects that we have down here. And it's like a lot of like smaller projects, but you can just grow so much in these small projects.
Yep.
And I've just been able to be a part of projects, be a part of teams, have different owners. Like I'm not kind of stuck in one spot, which I really love. But I mean, I've done school stadiums, I've done medical facilities, bakeries, fire stations, you name it. I feel like I've kind of like tackled a lot of the different sides of commercial, which I'm very fortunate of.
And you've gotten to meet a ton of people in the process too.
So many people.
Yeah, projects that don't last very long, you still get to make the architect, engineer, owner, all those relationships.
Lots of networking, which
That's
I
awesome.
very, very much enjoy.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
So a lot of what Ava said. So growing up, I was always a crafty person. We had Legos, Lincoln Logs, magnetics were my favorite with like little magnetic balls where you'd like click everything together.
Yeah.
I think they got recalled, but anyways, besides the point. So like I always grew up being kind of creative. So going into college, decided to go the business route, similar to you, just basic business. And I knew very quickly that was not the route for me. I remember the one pivotal moment that I had. I was sitting in our like presentation class where everyone was presenting. They're all in their suits and like pencil skirts, like sitting all up and proper like this. And I'm in the back with my legs up, like spinning around. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is for me. This is not the way that I want to go. So I ended up switching my career over to architecture. I wanted to try the architecture degree in our program at the University of Utah, and instantly fell in love with it. So architecture school is no joke. It's a lot of work.
Not for the faint of heart.
No. I mean, you're pulling all-nighters, you're crafting, you're making plans, you're doing all that stuff. So that's how I kind of started, and then moved from Utah down to Austin and got a job at an architecture firm and worked there for 2 years. And funny enough, on one of our projects that we were designing, the DPS facility, at our design meetings, I met one of our directors at Flintco and was always curious in the construction aspect of everything. So I pulled him aside. I was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit about Flintco? Like, I think I want to see things actually get built rather than designing on paper. And he told me a lot about Flintco, and instantly I was like, you know what? Everything that you guys do, all of the programs you have, the people are fantastic. Like, I think I want to work at Flintco. So then I ended up getting a job as a senior project engineer and put on the project that I designed. And it's an amazing project, great clients. It's so far, it's been a blast. We're doing underground utilities right now. So we'll start building up shortly.
3 really different stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But 3 really awesome women who are going to do great things for the company. So I'm excited again. Y'all are here. I'm excited for the conversation. I mean, it's Women in Construction Week. Like, what does that mean to you all? Like, this is y'all's special week. Is there something you want to talk about, or what do you think about Women in Construction Week? Go for it, Ash.
Oh, I was like, I've got a lot of words. So
yeah. Come on.
Yeah. So I know we've all talked about this a little bit, but even in my time here, this 8 years, I've seen so many more women enter the industry and with great success. So I think with that, like, so many women don't know about construction as a career opportunity. Like, I think people assume that you are either physically putting labor in place, or they just don't quite understand what we're doing. And while we need all of those things to make a project successful, that's just not what we do. And I guess I'm so proud that how many people have come into the industry, but at the same time, like, we still need to get more. In the market that I'm in, Oklahoma City, we've grown so much with women and what we do and how great and the new roles that they're taking on, and really how it's just growing in the industry. But like, we still need to get people interested and get people interested in that. But for Women in Construction Week, I've had such a positive experience in my career that it almost feels a little like silly having an entire week dedicated for women. And that's nothing against like Flintco or women in the industry, anything like that. But Flintco has just been such a like welcoming and positive place and there's so many opportunities for growth and development in your career, and anything you really want to make of it, that it just like, it's like, oh, we're talking here for women in construction this week, but it's like, no, like, let's just talk about like how awesome it is to be a woman at Flintco and in construction, whether you're at Flintco or somewhere else, but like how far we've come just, in this industry to be able to like have the respect that we each have when we're on the job site and how we carry ourselves. And so that's really how I feel like, oh, it's kind of silly to celebrate, but it is also really important to still celebrate that there's women here, because we still want to grab more of them to be in this industry and let them know like what an amazing experience you can have.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. At my previous job, when I told them that I was going into the construction industry, immediately right off the bat, they're like, oh my gosh, you're going to be on a construction site. You're going to get eaten alive, like this and that. And I'm like, well, good thing you're sending me, because like, let's do it. I'm ready. But after getting on site and being around our amazing team up there, none of that is like my experience. Like everyone's so friendly. Like it's so normal.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely so normal.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're very fortunate to have a company where it's like so normal.
Yeah.
I know other people don't have that experience, so I'm very happy to be at Flintco and be so inclusive and everything like that. But yeah, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like women that have been in this industry for like many, many years, I'm sure have a different experience like at the beginning of their career. But like now just entering Flintco, that has not been my experience at all. And I think that's the people and programs that we have like implemented and just welcome you with open arms. And
I also think it's a credit to the men too, because they have to set the precedence of being accepting. Yes, there we go, Dano. That they have to set the precedence of being accepting and like inclusive. And I've never ever had an issue with that from our own team. And so that I think speaks volumes as to the culture here and the fit and the attitudes that people have towards bringing women in, just to create a more diverse workforce.
Yeah.
And they also like recognize it too. So it's like daylight savings. It's starting to get dark at the site. At the site. So like if you have to work a little bit longer, like I've had our senior project managers come in and say like, hey Jenna, like it's getting dark. Like I know you're going to be staying here for a while. Like I can stay around and help you out if it's, you don't feel comfortable around site. And I'm like, you know what? I'll be all right. But I really appreciate you coming in and like letting me know that.
Yeah. It's like, we're on the team, we're equals, but chivalry is not dead.
Chivalry is not dead. Yes.
I love to hear that too, because like we want to be welcoming, right? I've worked here a long time, multiple decades here with the Flintco banner. And it has changed. Like last night when we were at dinner, I texted Tony and I'm like, hey, what's the percentage of women that now make up the Flintco workforce? And he texted me right back. He said we had 761 employees and 22% women. And I wonder what that number was like when Larry was here, because it wasn't near that number.
No, not at all.
And I know that we have worked hard, and I appreciate y'all, propping up the men too for helping this. But I think we have worked hard to be inclusive, but also at the same time to treat women as like regular members of the team. Like, yes, I'll hang out if you're at work because I know it might not be comfortable for you, but like at the same time, you're trusted to do that, right?
Yeah,
and there's
exactly.
Yep.
I think there's something to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is good that we're celebrating Women in Construction Week, right? And it's for it. There's an opportunity here for everybody, and I don't know why construction has the stigma that's going to eat you up and spit you out, or even specifically for women. And that's something we have to change. Mm-hmm. I think we all have to do something about that. It's not just this week. I think it's every week that we have to treat people kindly, and we have to build a community and not tear people down.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are going to be a part of that too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
The spokesman.
The spokeswoman.
Spokeswomen.
We're all in.
Yes.
So for Ava and Jenna, for y'all, like when you look at Ashley and hear her story, right? Ashley's been able to do a little bit of everything in 8 years here, which is totally awesome. I love that you've been afforded those opportunities, and you have excelled at it. And for that, I'm grateful for you and grateful for that experience for you. But for both of y'all, like, what are your aspirations when you think about being in the construction industry? Like, where do you picture yourself when you're Ashley's age, or what are your goals yourself when you're sitting in her seat?
I would really like to be in charge of my own project.
Okay.
And be the senior project manager and run the show. Small or big project.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for me, a little bit of a different path. So right now, this is kind of my first project where I'm running it a bit by myself. I have a senior project manager, but it's like me taking the reins, doing the contracts, everything. So I've kind of hit that, which that was one of my goals as well. But with my career, I kind of want to get into project management, learn as much as I can about the construction industry. And then I would love to transfer into the marketing or business development side and kind of help Flintco, gain some more owners and clients and really just push Flintco to the top.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have people on our job site and all around pushing us to join organizations and get the Flintco name out there. And it's another reason why I love it here is because we have those opportunities and people who will suggest doing all of these things and going out and meeting people and spreading the word that Flintco is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I've taken up a lot of those opportunities too, like joining different organizations. Dano's a part of a lot that I'm also a part of.
Perennial contender to take my place. I like it.
I'll pass the torch.
Yeah. No, but I think it's good. Like, I feel like we should all be out and selling and about and talking about what a great place it is to work here, but also that we afford good opportunities to people. Ashley, when you think about your career in the next 5 to 10 years, what are you thinking about?
I feel like my mindset has really changed in the last couple of years, but probably in the way that was even surprising to me where I am now. So I always thought, like, you graduate college, you're like, I'm going to run the company. I'm going to do this. Like, you want to be, you know what I mean? Like, you're selling yourself. You want to do that. And that's not what I want to do. I really find my why. My why of why I'm in construction is I fundamentally, I love changing communities. Like, I have been a part of some fantastic projects that really fundamentally changed our communities and how we live and grow and get to play, and places that you get to bring your families to, and you have like these core memories that can be made in these places. And so for me, like, while I always will enjoy career growth and development, and those opportunities are there for me, beyond that, it's actually the types of projects. Like, my goals are now the types of projects that I get to do. So not a lot of people get to say that they get to build an NBA arena. That is super cool that I am really this early in my career and get to do that. And so while that's going to be hard to chase, the one thing that's happened, or what I've really noticed about Flintco and I have experienced myself, is we're always changing and growing. And so you're not stuck thinking that I fit squarely in this box and these are the types of projects or experiences or teams that I get to be on. But it's really like, hey, we're going to push the boundaries so that we can go build this, or we can go do that, or we're going to figure that out together. And so for me, rather than just growing and becoming a director, because I would, of course, love to become a project director, but it's actually the types of projects that I get to be on, and then the quality of the team behind me. So I've been a part of some fantastic teams, and I love talking about those teams that I'm on. So for me and where I'm at, it's very important to feel that sense of team and community, and then being able to change our communities.
What's the time frame on the Thunder Arena?
It's a fast one. So we are breaking ground here in April, and then we are going to be done by August of 28. So.
And what's the total project cost?
It will be all in with like soft cost and everything over $1 billion. So. In
24 months.
Nice. I tightened my shoelaces. We're going.
You got it.
You do.
That's really exciting though, and it's a team effort, right? We're working with Mortensen on the.
Oh yes, and yeah. So we've got a JV partner, and it's Mortensen, and this is what they do. They build arenas all over the place. So it's been great to have their experience with building arenas and these kind of facilities, and then our local connection, which is really what won us the job of our local connection, and then how we've worked with MAPS and facilitated some of their large scale projects in Oklahoma City. So yeah, that's since I've only ever been at Flintco, kind of what you were saying, Ava, where I wanted the measuring stick. I needed something to measure against. This has been nice of, hey, like, I'm very happy with where I am. I don't want to go see what it's like somewhere else. So the JV opportunity is a really great experience to have that and then still get to stay home, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. And it's cool to see how other people run work, because like one of the things that we always talk about is continuous improvement continuously, right? And what can we do to be better? It's in our ethos. Mediocrity is unacceptable, right? And it's kind of like when you get to see the way somebody else does it, or even coming from an architecture firm here and look at the processes and think about that, it's all very impactful, right? It builds you, and it builds character, and it builds knowledge base, and helps you. It could make Flintco better in the long run too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's one of with that continuous improvement and how we like strive to live our ethos, like one of the wonderful things about that continuous growth and the opportunities that are here is any opportunity that you want here, you can earn. And that's what I've always found in my career is any opportunity. I've never been told no. It's go earn that for yourself. And the opportunities are there, go get them. And so it's just, you've got to do the work. You're going to put in the work. No one's going to do it for you, but they will put that out for you to go get.
Yeah, there's opportunity, right? And it's great. If you've watched our previous podcast when we talked with Greg Kozik and John Albarisi, that Greg talked specifically about that, is his job is to make sure there's opportunity for everybody. And because when there's opportunity, people are going to want to keep coming to work. They're going to be motivated to get to the next step. So it's from his lips to your work career. It's happened for you. It's happened for me too. Had the opportunity to do things that I never dreamed of. You know, when I first started, I was the same way. It's like, I'm going to be the corner office guy. I'm going to rule this office with an iron fist, and we're going to be the best office that whoever's ever seen, you know. And it's like, yeah, not going to happen. Didn't work that way for me either. But it's great to hear the story. I'd love to learn a little bit more about any one of y'all that want to tell me like a learning moment in your career, like when something happened. Maybe you made the wrong decision, or maybe you made the right decision, or maybe your instinct was right or wrong. If somebody has a story that they'd want to share about that.
Oh, I've got some. I'll tell you this, my career is full of mistakes, but nothing that you can't ever come back from, right? And that's what I've always appreciated about being here, is I've always had enough room to grow and maneuver, but then also to fix my own mistakes. I'll never forget though, I was at the Civic Center, and a lot of change order work, things that were being added, scope add, deducts, anything and everything. And I remember I was newer in my role as a PM, and we're going to demo all this existing carpet out and put new in. It's all over. It's tons of carpet. Just tons of carpet. Get this all squared away. I'm getting everything, everything looks good. We've checked all the existing conditions, just goofy stuff. We've got the monies there. Like, everything's great. Great. Submit it. Approve. No big deal. I didn't price the demo, like removing the other carpet. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my gosh, like someone trusted me to get this done. I vetted it. And, and like, I'm thinking this is a superior change order, like no problem, easy work. I forgot to get the demo of the carpet in there. And I'm like, oh no, like I've got to eat this. I've got to tell my boss. I mean, this is $50,000 worth of carpet demo. I'm sweating it. I'm like, oh man, I gotta admit it, because you can't hide it. Like, yeah. And it was one of those things where I call my boss, Josh, and hey, like, I messed up, like not big, or at least I'm trying to downplay it a little bit, but like this was not like, this high dollar job. So like there wasn't, all this extra money's lying around. I messed up on this change order, like pretty good. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, I don't know. That's why I'm calling you. Like, like I need some feedback here. And he's like, well, what would you do if you didn't call me? And I was like, well, I go get a price, and I go get a price to get the carpet demoed, and I'd sign them up, and we'll figure it out, but it has to get done. He's like, well, that's what you're going to do. I was like, oh, like, that's it. Right. Like, you're not mad at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not mad at me. Like, oh my gosh, like you still trust my judgment. Like I was just going so fast that I didn't slow down to be able to do that. He's like, you know what you're doing. Like, we trust the quality of your decisions. Go own it and fix your mistake. And that's what I did.
Oh, wow.
So.
That's a great lesson, though.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in that moment, Josh could have scolded you or been really upset, but nobody felt worse in that situation than you did.
Panic.
Right.
Panic.
You're like on Amazon, like looking for carpet scrapers. Like, if I'm going to scrape this up myself.
If I can do this, how fast can I do it without anyone knowing I'm doing it? Yeah.
What are you doing Saturday night?
Yeah,
you want to
throw a pizza party with a carpet demo?
Right, but that was a moment that Josh showed you some grace, right? And then rather than scolding you, like reinforced you, saying, hey, we trust your decision. Like, and you can figure this out. And obviously you did, right?
Yeah.
And
brand new carpet. Spectacular. So,
Ava, can you think of a time when something like that happened?
Yeah. I mean, I would say there's probably several, and I'm sure I've had one of those as well. The time that I can think of the most is it was on I was like a senior project engineer, so it was just a little bit ago. And I had a project manager above me, but he was like, okay, I'm going to give you the reins, and I'm going to see if like you can do this roof deck by yourself. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Little did I know that the storefront door, it was supposed to have a lead time of like 16 weeks. It ended up being way longer than that. Oh, no. But like, I was there, like I was like ready. I was like, okay, let's get this old door demoed out. Let's get the brick all ready to go for this new door. Then we had to sit there with a temporary door in this medical facility for weeks. And I had to be the one in the OAC, like, the door's on its way. But like
still.
For 16
it's
weeks.
still on its way. Yeah. And I just felt so embarrassed. But it was like, I just had such an amazing owner and such a great relationship with them that they were like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We trust you. We understand these custom storefront doors that we have to have. It's just going to take a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I was so nervous, like, going into that, because I was like, am I even qualified to have this conversation right now? Like, I was like, okay, here we go. But it all worked. The door's beautiful. Everything's installed. The brick looks great.
And every time you walked by it for the next 16 weeks, you were like, ugh.
I'm like, oh,
I can't believe, right? So, but it's a great learning moment. It's funny, like, even being a parent, like, you try to protect your kids from making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You try to protect your kids from doing things that hurt themselves, but that's where they learn.
Yeah.
Right. And you now have a newfound appreciation, you as well, for change order pricing or lead times or whatever it might be. And it's
Doors
totally
scary.
well, it's totally funny because every manager that you work for or work with or associated with have made different mistakes and can teach you something different, whether it's lead time or whether it's whatever it could be, right? And they harp on different things, and that's how they've learned. But it's awesome that y'all have seen that happen and seen it come to fruition. Do you have a good example for us, too?
Well, I'm relatively new still, so I'm sure we will have, hopefully we will not have any of these stories. I do have one from architecture school, though.
Yeah.
So we had a full wood shop in our architecture building and like a laser cutter. And you always have to follow the rules. The number one rule was to not leave the laser cutting room.
Row.
Yeah. So somebody was in there, and it was not me. I would like to preface that. You can't cut a piece of wood more than 3 times because, like, the char on the wood, it'll start to charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
So it was his 3rd time cutting it, and he ended up leaving the laser cutter room, and I'm next in line. So my architecture project, like, I had all of the lines, I had the file, like, this was how I was going to build the model. In my head, there was no other way that we could do this. So I'm sitting there by the door waiting for his print to be done. And I just see, like, smoke coming up from the laser cutter.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
And then you start seeing, like, flames. And I'm just like, Alex, or manager, Alex, like, the laser cutter's on fire.
Yeah.
The laser cutter was on fire. The laser cutter was out for the rest of the semester.
Oh.
So
No.
I was like, in my head, what am I going to do? I have no other ways to do this. Like, I have wood. I can't, like, cut out all of these tiny little precise pieces. So I got a sheet of cardboard from our art store and stayed up for 2 days straight, slept maybe 2 hours, hand cutting everything.
Oh.
So it was built, and it looked not as good as it should have been, but it still looked great. So, I mean, definitely learned 1, follow the rules. 2, there's always a plan B. You can figure it out, cut it by hand, put it in the work. You don't need to sleep. It's going to be fine, and get it done.
Very resourceful.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It was.
I can imagine it. It's breathtaking in my mind. I can really see it.
Oh yeah, it's a good model.
Sounds really nice.
Oh yeah,
Sounds really nice.
it's perfect.
What's Ashley? I wanted to ask you, like, if you had some advice, like, for these young professionals as they're coming up in their construction career, and what are some things that maybe you did that afforded you some good opportunities, or maybe looking back, some things you didn't do that you felt like you should have?
Yeah, I think we generically always hear, like, hey, like, be present, ask questions. There's no dumb question. Like, that's all sound wonderful advice, but I also feel like it's a little tired now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say this, especially for being women in construction, confidence isn't built overnight, but, like, you need to be confident in what you're doing, and how you grow that confidence is with, like, you're showing up for yourself every day, and that's going to build that self-confidence within you that's going to project out to other people. And so what I mean by showing up for yourself every day is you show up, you're consistent, you do the work, you're not afraid to ask not just those questions, but you're also not afraid to fail, and you're not afraid to try and to keep trying, because, you know, I've had so much room in my career to maneuver of, hey, you're gonna fail, but you're gonna fix your mistakes. That's a big part of how I mentor. But being able to show up for yourself like that and that makes you more confident in your own decision making, and then that is projected onto your team, and where they then have confidence in you. And so I think it's really important. I think especially when you're younger and you're starting out in your career, you have a lot of self-doubt. Like, am I supposed to be here? Do I belong at the table? Does my voice matter? Part of it is you're trying to figure out personalities and how everyone works and there's a lot to figure out, especially when you're on a big team. And then you've had, a tremendous amount of just diversity in your career so far. And so I would say, like, show it for yourself so that you can grow in that confidence, because that's going to allow your career to go so much farther by being confident in yourself, because then other people are confident in you. Then you're asked to do more. Those opportunities are presented to you. They're just out there for you to get, and then people remember you so that, Dano calls you and you get invited on a podcast. So
let's go.
This is like peak career moment for me.
This is it right here. Can't believe it. 8 years in, you peaked already.
Made it.
Glad we were a part of that.
I know. I was like, look at them. Like, they're peaking and they're way farther ahead than me.
So much time left. So many more peaks.
What are we going to do the rest of your career, Ava? I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out.
We're at the top already.
Oh, that's funny. What are some things, Ava, like you can think of that you did that have helped you been able to excel? Like we were talking also about at your age, being an assistant project manager, and we talked a little bit about when readiness meets opportunity, and talk a little bit about how you were ready when those opportunities arrived.
Yeah. I think confidence was a big thing, and just like being reliable. Like whenever like someone asks me to do something, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Like, so they know I'm reliable. I can be trusted with this responsibility. And I think that's kind of like how, at least I like to think, how I've gotten where I've gotten.
Sure.
And then another big thing that I always hear, which it's weird to compliment myself, but I'll do it.
Yeah, come on.
Is like how I build relationships with people. So I know, like, since I've so much diversity in owners and clients and everything, like I've never had an owner or a client that's like, oh, I don't want to work with Ava again. I've always had owners and clients where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to work with Ava again. And I think that is another like big boost to kind of where I am. Just because like everyone can trust me to make a good relationship and keep a good relationship for the entirety of the project.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's to be commended, right? As a guy that's in business development, there's nothing better than talking to an owner and we're in competition for the job, and they look at your team and they're like, oh, we love this. We love this PM. We love this superintendent. This is an awesome team. That person's going to advocate for you when it's time to vote, and they're going to pick whoever the winner is. So that's tremendous advice to anybody, is be reliable and do what you say you're going to do and then take care of the client for sure.
Yep. Yeah. I even remember for my internship when I came back full time, they were like, can Ava just run this project? I was like, I am a PE. Like, please.
Yes, you can.
This is scary.
Yeah.
But no, I have loved my experience, and I'm so grateful that like I've been able to grow so much so fast. Like I did not see my career going this fast. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm still 24, by the way. Like we can slow it down a little bit, but I'm so grateful. It's amazing.
I'm at the point where I have to lie and I have to say I'm older than I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Is that good? I mean, is that nice?
It is. So we usually like to keep it a guessing game. So people will ask, I'm like, what do you think? You mess up the answer. Like, let's hear it. And so, like, you better shoot low. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You did get carded last night, didn't you?
No, that was
that was me.
I know. I remember. There's a picture of my,
But so, I don't have my ID.
Sometimes just because I am in a position where I am in charge. I remember one day looking around like, who's the adult in charge? I'm like, it's me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so it's always kind of a joke where I'm like, I'll say I'm older than I am, because it just gets it's a little bit harder until you meet me and work with me. Like, oh yeah, like she's legit. Like we respect what she does. And so I'm 40, 42, like I'm 32, but I got to age myself up a little bit so that people can take, sometimes before they know you got to do that. So they ask and they want to be taken seriously. So.
Jenna, you've made some pretty big decisions in your college career, and even like being a professional, like going from starting in one major to a different major to doing architecture for 2 years and coming to Flintco. Like, along the way, like, how have you known, like, it was time to make a decision, and how did you convince yourself to do it and then do it and now successfully transition?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to when I was at my architecture firm, I always had the thought in the back of my head. I was like, oh, what about construction? Because like what I love about like architecture and construction and being creative is like how things get put together too. So it's like, I knew very quickly when I joined architecture that I was like, you know what, this isn't quite like scratching that thing in my brain that like I want to start seeing things click together. So it's like, I've always had that thought of, okay, well, let's see things actually start happening. So that started like, honestly, like a few months in. Like it was really fun being creative and drawing and doing stuff like that, but it wasn't quite it. So in those meetings, I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to make the jump. Like, I think Justin Garrett, our director, I was like, he seems friendly enough that I can just go talk to him. He's a great guy. I love him. So I finally was, he was there, and it was in a conversation. I was like, hey, can you tell me about like Flintco? And we went and got some drinks, and it was, like I said, telling me more about it. And immediately I was like, okay, this is the opportunity. It's right here. I've been thinking about it forever. And it just was so beautifully on my plate. I was like, you know what? I know nothing about, I do know stuff about construction because I was in architecture, but it's like, this is a completely new field. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it. Like I'm not going to get another chance like this unless I go out there and do the whole job application thing, which like, not great, but getting a new job from a connection that I've made it super easy. And then when I first got on site, I'm like looking around like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like,
I'm going to whisper that so nobody knows.
And I'm like, I know Revit. I know how to 3D model. I know how to do all these things. But like Procore, I did like that online certification where they like walk through the steps. This is where you find the RFI sheet and like stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I know Procore. But teaching myself all of these 3D programs, you can figure out anything. So like being on site, having specific trainings like nearly weekly of like, hey, this is how you like write an RFI, and the people around you just teaching you everything you need to know. You pick it up so quick. And even having my like 3D modeling experience, I brought that over here to Flintco. And then, I mean, we have the means to use it and make things and do stuff, and having my talent not completely erased, like finding an avenue for that to be put into our company and our job. So I still get all of my creative, fun things that I like to do, even on the side, but now we're using them for Flintco. And I love it.
That's
It's
amazing.
been great.
And I will say, I think it's brave, like what you did. Like it's so hard, like being a professional and you've gone through college and you're you know, like, hey, I'm going to be an architect and I put all this time and effort into it. And then I'm going to I'm going to make a career change. And it's like, it's bold and it's brave, and that's very commendable because that is not an easy thing for anybody to do. But I also feel like some of those kind of decisions are like the best decisions. The scariest ones are always like the leap of faith are always the best decisions you can make for yourself.
And you just have to do it. Like you just have to make the decision, you know, even moving
and trust it
and like put all of your eggs in one basket. Sometimes it's like even moving down from Utah to Texas, it was a phone call that my friend was like, hey, do you want to move to Texas? And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. And you just like all in. Always.
I totally missed it. Dang it.
You have to do it. I mean, don't second guess yourself. As soon as you start like listening to that voice in the back of your head, you're going to second guess yourself and not do it.
Yeah.
And thank God I did.
Yeah. And where would you be? I mean, not that you would not be happy in your career, but I mean, look, you've had the opportunity to flourish being here and share your skill, right? The skill that you have. Even Christina on that job is also an architect by trade.
Yeah.
And having y'all on there at the same time. I remember doing buyout with Kevin Bromenshank, who's the VDC director now. Kevin was an architect by trade. And the first job I was a PM on from the start, Kevin helped me with buyout. Greatest experience ever because he knew what to look for in the drawings, and you can't build this the way that they designed it. And it's kind of like, man, I learned so much. So there's still so much more you're going to bring to the team. I'm confident.
And I mean, I drew the plans. So true. I did have that on my side.
Are you getting any blame for that? Or people are like, Holly, I wouldn't be writing this RFI if it wasn't for Jenna.
All the time. I'm submitting RFIs on my own drawings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the designer thinking when they said this?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Yeah. I.e. me. Ashley, what about for you? You talked about a big change in your career as well over the last couple of years.
Yeah. So my big career change. So we have, when we talk about these opportunities that Flintco has out there, but I went through the Pillars program, and Dano, I know you have too. And at the time, like I hit that at the most pivotal place in my career. So I was on a job, the Coliseum. I had a big team around me. I'd been on big teams before, but I had never been like a lead, And so going through that and the experience and like the ownership and my own leadership that gave me really helped me transition. When I made the jump from being a project manager to a superintendent, I was in the middle of that program. And then I was also the lead on that project with a team of new people, new to the industry or new to Flintco. And so with that, like that pivotal moment for me was like realizing my job is not to build the building, it's to develop those people around me so that we're all successful. And I really that really clicked in my mind as I was going through that Pillars process, making that transition from being a PM to a superintendent, and then like what it meant for not just my career growth and opportunity, but for others. And once I made that my primary priority, like a lot of pieces just like fell into place, and like what I prioritize on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week or month-to-month. And, I told myself like my goal is I'm going to finish this project as a superintendent, but my goal is for my team to be able to level up at the end of this so that they can go get their own projects. And that's exactly what happened because I was so intentional about it. And that just fundamentally changed of like, this is why we're here, is for the team and those people that are around us and all of the like resources that are people here. And so that was just a huge moment for me. And then also with the transition from being a project manager to a superintendent, I wanted a challenge. The opportunity presented itself in a different way, but I wanted the challenge before that opportunity came up. I had talked to our directors about doing that, and then I had another baby. And so I kind of put that on hold. And I was like, it'll happen for me. Like, we'll get there. It doesn't have to be on this one. I was, I was in a PM role, and I was doing a lot of the field stuff because that's what I was naturally inclined to enjoying. I enjoy the tradesmen and women that we get to work with. I enjoy creative problem solving, all of that. But that transition from being that PM to that superintendent and the mindset of the team and developing them along with your own development was huge for me. And since then, it's really, I think, skyrocketed the opportunities in my career and what's out there for me because I've taken that, leadership of, I want you to be more successful than I am.
Yeah, I love that. That's a maturity that takes some time to find. And it takes time to find because you're inclined as a person to look out for yourself first. And it's really easy to get caught up in me. And when you do that, there's the team suffers, right? Or you're siloed, or you're not communicating right. These things aren't happening the right way. But when you can step back and say, hey, what can I do for somebody else? Or be the delegator and the reliable receiver to take care of the challenge or take care of the opportunity, it really allows the team to flourish, right? And it's awesome when you get to go to the next job. Like everybody that's sitting at this table is not going to be the division president one day, right? There's only a couple of those people that happens to. And everybody else is, I consider it like you're rowing the boat, right? You think of like the old cartoons of the Vikings, like rowing the boat, and there's one guy in the front that's telling them where to go, and there's someone in the back steering the rudder, and everybody else rows. And it's kind of like, what kind of rower are you going to be? Are you going to be somebody that's going to motivate the other people? Or are you going to be somebody that builds other people up? And how's it going to work along the way? So I love that. That's great advice for y'all also, is about developing those around you at the same time. It's almost like when you said that, I was thinking about the ethos about your training never being done, and part of that training is understanding that you don't have to be the person that does it all.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the coolest feelings. So when you get to where you've got direct reports and you're developing and mentoring them, and even if they don't, you can be someone that people look up to without even them being your direct report.
Mm-hmm.
And like seeing it, that they get it and it clicks and like they're growing and it's awesome. It's like, man, like I want to help elevate you, because the other thing I think is it's important to have people that remind you of what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
And so don't be afraid to be that cheerleader for them. Like you can cheerlead for yourself, but there is nothing better than cheerleading for those other people around you, because it doesn't take anything away from you.
It doesn't, because there's a ton of opportunity on every project, right? Either small project, big project, there's always opportunity, and there's opportunity for everybody. And I think that's when you become unselfish and understand that there are people that are going to pass you or you're going to pass others. It's not a big deal. It's like the team wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just got one of my first like direct reports that I've ever had, and I am so excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited to help someone grow and help teach someone and like see their love of construction. I cannot wait.
And then it's like flattering for you, right? Because you're like, someone trusted me
to
develop them, you know? And so it's like, you got to think of it as a two-way compliment of I get to help you, but then someone thought enough of me to give me that opportunity.
Oh yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and then you have to give them that opportunity. And it's okay, if they fall down, just like the conversation you had with Josh, it's like, hey, how are you going to fix it? You have a direct report?
No. Well, like people that report. We have, since I'm senior project engineer, I have some project engineers under me, and some interns, but they're gone now, but we're getting more.
Nice.
So I can't wait.
Yes.
Specifically Clay Rhines, shout out. He's in the office right next to me. So him and I kind of do a whole bunch of work. But I mean, it's a team thing too. Yeah. So it's good.
I feel like Flintco does a good job of that too. I don't feel like I've ever been on a team where there's somebody that was like really dragging us down. Everybody kind of seems like they're going to get with the program, or they're going to be, a contender. They're going to be an impact player. I think everybody wants to do well here. I think everybody wants to see the company do well.
I think so as well. I have had some people like that, and I think it's really important to step into correcting that, or hey, like we want you to be on the team and rowing our boat in the same direction. And so how do we get you to where you're on our team and you feel part of our team, and like you're not this outlier who is just in a me mindset.
Yeah. Why are you rowing backwards? We're all going this way and you're going this way. Like why is the boat spinning in circles?
Your north is not our north. Like what's happening?
Oh, that's hilarious. What kind of advice do y'all want to give to anybody that's listening now? Anybody that turns on this podcast, what kind of advice would you want to give them about the construction industry or Flintco or whatever it might be? And then we'll close with your compelling statement. Don't confuse this with your compelling statement.
I have no compelling statement. I was like, I have no compelling statement, but I do think, so every day is not going to be the best day of your life. Like in construction, every day is not like, my husband and I always tease each other, like if it's, just a rough period on the job or in your personal life, even, they're saying it is like, how's today going to be the best day ever? Like, what's going to make it? But with that, it's not going to be. And so you've got to be tenacious in what you're pursuing, because it is such a privilege to be stretched by the growth that you want for yourself. And I think people forget that sometimes, where what an honor it is to be stretched by this career you've created for yourself or your life or whatever it is, your hobbies, your interests. And so not every day is going to be wonderful and sunshine and roses. And so it's the same. It's kind of like showing up for yourself every day. You're going to get through this, and you've survived all of your worst days. And now that you've got that as a tool in your tool belt, so to speak, of how you're going to navigate future challenges and problems. And so don't forget that, bad days are still an opportunity for growth. You just have to have the optimistic mindset of, this is a bad day or a bad situation, or I'm off today, whatever it may be. But you have to look at it as like, this is still a growth opportunity for myself. Yeah. And so that would be my biggest advice.
No, and kind of like pivoting off of that, like with the growth mindset and kind of bad days and stuff, you always have a team behind you. And that's probably like one of my big things is, you know, relationships. You always have a team behind you. We're always collaborative. We're always there for each other. You know, if you're having a problem, let's go talk to someone about it. Don't be afraid to speak up, like whatever it is, you know? Yeah, I would say that's kind of pivoting off of you.
And then pivoting off of you, I would
love it.
I would say like really nurture the relationships around you.
Yeah.
I know that once the project's finished, you go on to another project, but those people and the knowledge that you get from them, they will always be in your back pocket. So on the next project, I always know that I can call up Mike or I can call up Nick and ask some questions like, oh, I know exactly the guy to call.
Yep.
Because like you're not going to be on this project forever. And it's, I mean, we're a little family up there. Like we see each other more than our own personal families. So it's like really nurture those relationships and be a sponge and soak up every piece of knowledge that you get from senior people.
Yeah. And I think that's back to what Ashley said about making the most out of every day, whether it's relationship, whether you're learning, whether it's a really tough job or you have a really tough owner. It's really easy to get down and just be like, I don't want to go to work. I hate everybody at work. I hate the team. And it's kind of like, well, there's something to be learned, right? Whether it's the way that person is treating you, you want to remember not to treat anybody else that way. Or if the way that people are talking to you, you don't want to talk to anybody else that way. There's always something to learn to mold you into a better leader at some point in your career, right? Whether you have one direct report or you're over the whole division, like there's a bunch of people that are going to help mold who you are. As we work towards closing, I've asked each one of y'all to kind of prepare like your closing statement, compelling statement or something like that, or compelling diatribe, depending on who you might be. But there's let's go around the table, and Jenna, we'll start with you, and you can kind of say what you want to close with.
Well, so far with my experience, I've discovered that Flintco really wants you to succeed. And they have the programs and the people to do so. And I mean, so far my experience here has been absolutely fantastic, and all of the opportunities and taking every single opportunity that you can to grow.
Love that. I love to hear that too. It's awesome to hear that. If somebody that's been here as long as you have, it's really encouraging for me to hear that. Yeah. Thank you to the Florence team.
Okay, I wrote mine down. It might be a little long.
That's okay. Take a deep breath.
I have a lot to say. Anyways, I chose Flintco because from the very beginning, it felt like a place where people genuinely care about the work, about each other, and just really about doing things right. I've stayed because I've been challenged, supported, and trusted to grow, not just professionally, but as a person. What keeps me coming back is the culture, the collaboration, the mentorship, the feeling that your voice, it actually matters here. Flintco invests in its people, gives you room to learn and lead, and creates an environment where you can be proud of both the projects you built and the team that you built them with. If you're looking for a place that values hard work and growth and real relationships, Flintco is definitely a team that I would recommend being a part of. I love it here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. I was like, that's going to be really hard to follow. I don't have anything written down per se, but I think for me, like I've had the opportunity to go other places and I've always chosen to stay here. I don't believe the grass is greener somewhere else. And I've chosen to stay here because of those relationships and the people that we're surrounded with. And not just that, but the opportunities that are out there. And I will say, like, as a woman in construction, like, and like at Flintco, like go earn those opportunities for yourself. Like go after them. Like no one is going to hold you back but you and your own self-doubt. So go after them. Like they're there for you. And then there's everyone around you to help pick you up and support you when you fail or when you're nervous because you're in a new situation or in a role or something that's uncomfortable. And that uncomfortableness is the growth. But there's so many people who are cheering you on, whether you know it or not. And it's not, you know, if it's someone you don't see every day, you might not know it, but there are so many people who are genuinely rooting for you here. And whether you hear that every day or not, I think it's important to know that everyone wants you to be successful, like you guys have said. But then for me, I also stay because, you know, I'm a young mom. I've got 2 little boys, and I have never felt more supported in that role. I was really nervous when I was so excited to be a mom, but I was like, man, how's this really going to work with my career? Like I'm pretty ambitious. I really like my job. I could not be a stay-at-home mom. Bless everyone who is. I think you're all wonderful women, more courageous than me. Couldn't do it. I need to come to work. You know what I'm saying? And I have never been more supported in that role as a mother, as a working mother. And that has been so fulfilling and important to me that I have other people who also, they're so family orientated that they want you to be. Mm-hmm. If that's what your goal is, they want you to be as well.
I love it. I love the conversation we've had. I appreciate y'all being here today. I appreciate the insights that y'all have given for each other, for anybody that's listening. And as we celebrate Women in Construction Week, I celebrate each one of you and celebrate what y'all bring to the team and how wonderful the teams are because of you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for everything you do for Flintco. And I know the company's in great hands with people like you all following up the ranks behind old Flintco guys like me. So thank you so much for being here today. I've enjoyed it.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Dan.
You bet.